Welcome back to another edition of the Crown and College Podcast, brought to you by the CSPN. You can shop and check out all our wonderful shows and sponsors on CSPN.us. Go on to click that keep our podcast free link and shop through all our sponsors, so you don't have to pay to listen to me and Sarone sound like a bunch of moonshine and pig feet. I am one half one half of your host. I am Jeremy, aka Black Dante, aka Confucius, aka Issa Durag, aka um Queen Tommy and King Jock. Um, this is a special Ratchet recap episode. This is going to be a mid-season recap of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and something else rather important that needs to be talked about. Um, as y'all know, Dan don't watch this shit, so he ain't him. But and because it's a Monday, he out getting checks. But I'm not alone. I have a second here with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
It is Intense Desire, aka Candace, aka Will You Please Log Off, aka You Could Go Now, and last but certainly not least, London's Mommy.
Yes, yes, London's mommy. London, who is the cutest little thing ever and adorable, and and surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, but she is a sweetheart. Like her mother, which she probably gets that from her father. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Wow, wow.
I
Actually,
mean, I mean, you are a terrorist, so I mean, we didn't come.
he's a terrorist, so she like two terrorists make a calm baby, I guess.
Oh, so it's like two negative make a positive.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
evens out. It evens out.
Yep.
While y'all trying to destroy the world, she trying to save it. I get it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I get it.
Yeah.
Um, but well, I mean, it has been a while since you've been in on the Crown and Collar studio slash porch. So what's been going on, friend?
I think the last time that I was on was we did the recap for Love and Hip Hop New York,
That is
was
correct.
it? Okay, yeah, that was the last time I was on. So since then, I haven't really done too much of anything, just give birth and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, that's it. And keep up with Ratchet TV, you
Right,
know.
because last time you was on, we discussed Love and Hip Hop New York and Kimbella's wig.
Yeah, or Kimbella's pet wigs, because that's not human hair. That's
Right.
that's that's raccoon.
she, she said she got a marsupial on her head. Is what you're trying
Yeah,
to
she got them wigs on a leash.
say? We're off to a rousing start already, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, so we the real star of Ratchet TV, like I gotta say, like when it comes to Ratchet TV, Atlanta is usually the best because it's Atlanta. I mean, I don't really know how you can gloss over that fact, but I mean, who are me to judge, and who are me to? Because I know Atlanteans, we get sensitive, but I mean, hey, we got some ratchet shit down here. I mean, I ain't even from Atlanta, but I'm from Georgia, so but I mean, we got some ratchet shit here. So I mean, what are you gonna do?
Exactly.
So
It's not even a bad type of ratchet though. Like I know people love to be like, all we see is black people, blah 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 on reality TV. But the fact of the matter is, reality TV is older than a lot of the people that's probably on Twitter right now. If we were to really take it very, very far back to like Real World and Road Rules and all that kind of stuff, reality TV has always been dramatic. So there's no point in watching reality TV that's not dramatic. It's a waste of time, honestly. You can go watch a scripted TV show if you don't want to watch dramatic reality TV, if we being honest. So I appreciate that the Love and Hip Hop series is keeping with the tradition of dramatic reality TV shows. Be-
right,
if we were to like, who remembers Real World Las Vegas? Remember how dramatic all those black people
Nigga,
was?
nigga. Real world Las Vegas. That shit was like it was like if
It
it
was
was
a
like
movie.
it was like if it was like if Lifetime got CGI fixed. That would be that yeah.
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 So,
Speaking of dramatic,
yeah.
nigga, I was cause y'all know I don't do shit at work. So I was in the break room and one of my coworkers was watching Maury and nigga, like you remember back in the day when like they had the baby daddy on Maury and he would like they wouldn't even have he would be backstage, but they didn't even show his face. Maury just talked out the story and shit. Nigga, Maury done got new money over these years. These motherfuckers, I just having to look up. These motherfuckers have a whole ass dramatization, have a whole ass damn. It's like it's like if Lifetime did a monologue of like baby daddies, that would be how Maury introduced them. He don't even introduce them. Like they got their own intros. It'd be like some shit that you would see on like a country singer cover on album cover at a gas station. Like these motherfuckers be these motherfuckers had their own story, their own different angles and shit. I'm like, since since when Maury got new money for
I'm
all
gonna
these
tell
goddamn
you.
effects?
I'm gonna tell you when I knew that Maury had came into the money. Maury will bring the same woman back for DNA testing 37 times. That means that Maury paying for 37 round trip tickets, 37 hotel stays, 37 times worth of spending money and meals to come and prove that these women don't know their baby daddy. That's a lot of money. 37 DNA tests. Maury got a contract with DNA test companies. And
Nigga.
Maury has been Maury has been pilfering from the ratchet communities around the world for a very long time now. He hit a gold mine in ratchetness.
Right.
And
Maury is like the OG of Ratchet.
it's not even just black ratchetness, because it'd be a lot of white women on there that don't know their baby daddy too.
Right.
It'd be a lot of others too, a lot of Hispanics and all kind of shit. Maury just found the fountain of youth in ratchetness. That's what that is.
Honestly, he really did. Like he is the OG of like he's the OG of too drunk too many shots of Hennessy to the head and regretting it the next morning like nights. Like he is the Osiris of this shit.
Correct.
You mourn him. You ready to dive into
I am beyond ready.
it? So before we get to tonight's episode, I like we did last time we talked about New York. Like overall, what how so far, because this is a mid-season recap. So overall so far, how would you rate this season? I would say.
So Mona kicked off the season, the first episode. She clubbed you in the head with drama. I mean, for that she
Off
gets
real.
an A+. I'm talking about the very first of the season premiere. Mona took a sledgehammer and knocked the whole watching audience in the head with drama. She said, "Oh, y'all didn't like New York? Y'all don't fuck with LA? Here, take this." And just boom. And I was just like, oh my God.
Right. We started off the season with drama. And of course, we started off with our resident drama matriarch in Carly Red.
I just got one. Before we can even go, they should have named this season "Do Anybody Husband Don't Cheat." That should
Nigga!
have been
Yeah.
that should be the theme of this season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Who husband not cheating?
The name the theme of this, not only that, it should also be bad wigs. Cause nigga.
The only person who hair looked decent on that show is Jock with the Anita Baker short haircut.
King.
Jock
King.
looked like Anita Baker with a bad
King.
nose job, and
Know
I'm
him.
sorry.
Know him.
I'm sorry. It's like he caught up in the rapture of perm. It's
Right.
just
Right now, it don't curl all the way over all the time, but it's just slipping. Okay, it's a respectable curl. Know him, honor him.
Jock is going to he not Jock going to an old school hairstylist, so old that they just calling themselves a beautician. You know these young girls, they call themselves stylists, they hairstylists. Jock going to a woman that's about 57 and she calls herself a beautician. And she's not using flat irons. She is using the curlers that go in the stove, in the cast iron stove and shit. That's the where it's like a semicircle, and all the curlers is sitting in the hose and the stove in the middle. Because a lot of these new school stylists, they have perfected the art of flat ironing with the ceramic flat iron. That's not who Jock going to for that short haircut. He going to a beautician who pushing 60, and she don't play that shit.
She don't play that shit. She got techniques passed down from like her great Mimon shit.
Dudley's.
Right. Know him. Know him.
She using motions.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Okay, that's enough. Too
Yeah.
far.
That's enough. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I guarantee you, Jock's beautician is using shampoo with sulfur in it. That's what I could tell you.
All right. All right. I ain't say you lied, but all right. All right. But yes. This season can be. This season really, honestly, this season can be summed up in three things. Jocks has laid. Tommy Crazy, and Kurt Frost got to die. That really can be sums up the entire season right there so far.
Yeah, we got to discuss Kirk Frost, and we got to discuss it in depth because I don't think people realize just how truly trash and disgusting Kirk, Mr. Hanky, the Christmas proof Frost really is. First of all, the number one thing is Kirk is ugly. Kirk is way too goddamn ugly to be doing the shit that he keep doing to Rashida. That's the first
Rashida
thing.
is fine as a lion's mane, okay?
And Kirk looked like
And
a charcoal briquette
he look.
with eyes.
Kurt looked like if you melted a bunch of Xbox controllers and then threw them in a bag.
That's enough. That's okay.
That's enough. Oh, all right. Okay. Okay.
Kirk really do look like a shredded tire. Like when somebody breaks a tire from the road, he looked like what's left of it. Kirk.
He looked like one of those ceramic heaters you get at Walmart for like $30.
Oh my god.
Like the point we trying to make here, people, is that listen. It's never okay if you do trifling shit. But if you gonna do it, at least you ain't even got to be fine. At least be decent looking. Kirk ain't even decent looking.
Kirk ain't lookable.
You
know what? Can I Kirk look like he don't wipe good after he used the bathroom. He look like he stink. Like he just always got a little odor. You ever met somebody that when they walk in the room, they just carry a little stench with them, and you just like, what's that? You know, the type of person that you won't hug, you got to dap them up because they stink. That's
right.
Kurt. That's
right.
Kurt.
That's Kurt. Kurt always, and he has such a punchable face.
Yeah, he do.
Like
it looked like a blacked out target. Like everywhere is a bullseye. Kirk's whole face a bullseye.
All right. Okay.
Okay. My bad.
All right.
So after we call him ugly, right? Now we got to move on to what makes him.
Now we have to move on to the action.
Ugly. This would make he ugly inside and out. It's one thing to be ugly outside, but you got the audacity to be ugly inside and doing ugly stuff to the woman that you took vows to.
The all damn audacity.
So let's go. We gotta go back, Jeremy. We gotta go back a few seasons. Let's go back to Kirk and Benzino and Bobby Valentino in the hot tub.
Okay, first
With
of all, I would just like to reiterate in that
Benzino don't got no neck. Oh,
well, yes, that too. I would like to reiterate. I would like to state this fact that until his one scene on this season, I didn't know Bobby Valentino was still with us.
I
Uh,
did. He's just 4'2", so you probably just can't see him
Good
most of
point.
the time.
Good point. Also, point two is Benzino looks like a collection of Steve Harvey buttons. And three, that was the, I mean, that was the rise and fall. That was the epitome of, that was the beginning of Kirk's rise and fall to ain't shitness. Continue.
Benzino looked like an extra finger that's been removed surgically, but when somebody got that six pinky, that's that's what Benzino looked like. But my bad, I had to get that out.
That's enough. Go, just go, just go. Goddamn extra.
So if you have been a fan of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta for a while, you remember the season when Kirk and Bobby Valentino and Benzino and I forgot who else
Them
went up
niggas.
to the cabin for the weekend, and Kirk ended up cheating on Rashida in the hot tub. Let's side note that Bambi was there and she was being I don't really like the word thought, but she was being quite mixy, and she was in the hot tub too before she became Scrappy's life partner. But moving
Right.
on, so
Doing
Kirk
her.
cheated on Rashida in the hot tub in one season. Then if we move forward to another season, Rashida ended up pregnant. Kirk wanted her to give her to the baby. She decided not to. Kirk DNA tested the baby, right? And now we in this season where Kirk got a stripper pregnant and moved her into the apartment building he and Rashida was living in. And
Which nigga?
hmm, let her had her driving his cars, which was probably Rashida's cars,
Right.
was paying her bills. She claimed Kirk brought their son Carter around now. She said she been around his family, and she even got Kirk's proof of insurance card for when she driving they cars. So that now let all that soak in for a second. This is what somebody's. This is what a husband is doing outside his marriage.
Let that marinate. Like he like see, this is why our brother XD, this is why he advocates stabbing.
Yeah,
Because sometimes, because you have to remind these niggas. You ain't got to kill him, although I mean Kurt does need to die. You ain't got to kill him, but just remind them that it ain't going down like that. Because again, we point this out. We call, look, it was just Easter Sunday. We call on to the Lord to remind you that Kirk is too damn ugly for this shit.
yeah. The our Lord and Savior didn't die and then resurrect on the third day for Kirk to be ugly and doing ugly shit to his wife.
That
Okay,
is
that's not.
that is
He
not
died for our sins, but he didn't die for that kind of shit.
right. Right. He did not die. He didn't. Our Lord did not die for Kirk to fly. Okay. That is not what he. That is not what the ministry tells me. Okay. The God I serve would not be pleased and is not pleased with Kirk Frost shenanigans.
No, not at all.
So okay. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the new blood this season. I'm not even gonna say who you like. I'm gonna say who gets on your nerves the most.
Let me listen. Get this dumpling built, loud mouth, raggedy weave wearing nail tech off my TV screen. Get lovely Mimi wanna be down ass off my TV screen. I don't have any problem with non-blacks raised in the hood. What I do have an issue with is you playing into every stereotype you have of the hood and trying to be that. She is loud, she is obnoxious, and she built like a slothly Asian dumpling.
Yeah, she like when she was first introduced, I'm like, really me, really Mona, really, because she literally is like every trope from every black exploitation movie in like the 80s and 70s.
Yeah, in the 90s, she's every ratchet from every hood film. Like she's the ratchet baby mama, she's the ratchet side chick, she's the ratchet girlfriend. She is every ratchet
She's every
character
trope.
that you could think of from black movies, like you said. I'm saying the 80s and 90s, and it is even from the nails, the hair, the makeup, the way she dressed, the way she talked, the attitude, the rolling her neck, and like, girl, even if your parents are Korean, I'm going to go out on a limb and say her Korean parents did not raise her like that.
Right. Like you can tell it's so forced. And like in one scene this season, like her show accent dropped and all that shit. You was like, here's the real lovely Mimi. I can't remember what scene exactly it was, but it was one
I,
scene where that shit completely
I
dropped.
was like, how she really talk? This how she really talk, huh?
Right. It was like, oh, so this how you really talk. So this the real you. Oh, interesting. But yeah, her, she gets on my nerves the most. Then after her, it's gotta be. I'm gonna say somebody that may or may not be unpopular. As somebody that you be like, out of everybody, it might be a shocker that this person gets my nerves the most, but she does. And it's not and surprisingly, it's not Mariah. She's a strong candidate though, but it's not Mariah. It's Melissa. Every season, it seems like Mona has to throw in an obligatory messy lesbian. And I think Melissa might be the worst one because she is, you know what got it for me? You know what really got it for me was that scene when it was Mimi and Mimi strong titties. Uh
Oh,
Melissa
oh,
too far.
Melissa get on your nerves.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why. It was Mimi, Melissa. They was in Melissa's bar. There was Mimi, Melissa, um, Rod, the scammer, um, Jasmine, and the other girl. I can't remember the
Yeah,
blended family they got.
yeah.
And Melissa was who said she was who all this season in between all this mess and drama between people that don't fuck with each other said she was gonna stay neutral, said she was gonna stay out of it, said she was gonna straddle the fence. Take that as you will, knowing she's lesbian, take that as you will. She was gonna do all this shit, and then proceeded to hop her ass into the mess with Rod and Jasmine and Jock and Kirk and all them and get loud like it was her baby. That
Oh, you
that
know what? You are so right. And she made some really
she
anti-woman
was slut shaming
shit.
like a motherfucker.
She was sounding like a Ashy Larry from Twitter too. So
Yeah.
you look like the type to do this, that, and the third. And I'm sitting here like, regardless of who you love and how you love, you still a woman, and you going at another woman neck about her sex life.
And some shit that ain't got nothing to do with you.
You trash. Oh yeah, you seem like the type to do A B C D. I know how y'all get down. Like, are you serious? Oh, you
Right.
one of those lesbians. Oh, okay,
Right. Right.
got you.
So that's what killed it for me with her. Cause and look, it ain't even necessarily about her like being on the LGBTQ scale. So like it because just because you're in a marginalized group that doesn't mean you can't still be trash. I mean, look
Yeah,
at black men. But anyway,
yeah,
but it's just the fact that um she would just like you said, like if you didn't know, like if the screen went black and you didn't know that she was a woman, and then you would think that she'll be a ashy Twitter nigga. Like it was that on top of the fact she was getting to something that didn't have anything to do with her. Where I was like, oh, okay, so this is how this party is gonna be. So yeah, that's what killed it for me with her.
yeah. The other part, the other thing that I cannot I do not like is I don't like straddling of fences. Either be neutral and shut up, or pick a side. That is my stance on situations like this. Either you neutral, you shut up, you don't discuss it, period, or you pick a side and you stay there. Now, the thing that I do not care for with her is she is friends with Jocelyn. She is friends and maybe more with Mimi. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not
I
too
mean, we can never count out Mimi for
sure.
trying to munch on some carpet. So
Yeah. But when Stevie J and Jocelyn went their separate ways, Jocelyn took to social media and made some really, 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 really disgusting allegations about Stevie J molesting his daughter with Mimi. Eva is her name? Eva.
yeah,
She pretty much accused Stevie J of molesting Eva and all this kind of stuff on social media. And so I'm not really sure how you can try to be friends with Mimi after and be friends with Jocelyn after one dragged the other's kid in some really disgusting stuff like that.
right. Like I look, that's one of those things where, and I kind of, I'm with you far as like being neutral and stuff, and trust me, God knows that's a hard rope to tight. But it's some stuff where I'm like, nah, dog, I can't. Nah, nah, or at least like you say, like you can't. If when it goes like that and that kind of stuff go down, ain't no I'm gonna be cool with you and be cool with you. Like nah. On that, yeah, because that's too far. You got to pick a side. You might not want to, but if you're gonna put yourself in that position, you kind of ain't got no choice because that's taking it to another level. Like it's not just some like petty like trivial stuff. That's a whole nother situation where Jocelyn, like you said, that's horrible. Like, look, I know Stevie J is a horrible human being, but accusing him of that or something of that magnitude, nah, you can't straddle the fence on that one, dog. I'm sorry.
Now you can't.
Like, nah, ain't no. I'm gonna be cool with you and everybody. Hopefully, everybody get along. No, not on that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So yeah, that's why I don't really care for Melissa. Um, and then and then I guess the other new person that I can't stand by default would have to be like um lovely Mimi. Oh, did I say her already? But she in there somewhere. Shit. So is there anything else? I will say Mona's definitely ramped up the ratchet this season. She definitely has.
Yeah, she really took it there.
Yeah, Is that Little London?
Yeah, you hear?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she fake sleeping. She she like I thought she was asleep. She like, nah, I'm here. Hello?
Right. She like, hello, it's me.
Yeah, she like in me. Uh oh, listen, listen. What's the assistant name? Who?
Mariah.
Mar- hey, 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 hey.
Yeah, she
Listen,
trash
it's
dog.
listen.
I ain't even I
Hey,
can't even
it's a
sugarcoat it. Like,
you could pinpoint when some drama about to happen on the show. Like it's gonna happen. You still shocked when it happened, but her screwing the boss husband, I was not expecting that, dog. I really did not expect that.
yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't expect that either. What in a sense, we kind of could see it coming because you really can't trust nobody with that bad of a lace front. In
Yeah.
retrospect,
Hey, when that wig was when the top was pulled back,
duh. Her shit was looking.
all you could see was bad baby hairs and wide nostrils.
Dog, her shit was looking like Stephen A. Smith.
Hey, hey,
What, that was too far. Too far.
that was a lot.
Uh, yeah, yeah. You got a point. Yeah, yeah.
It's true. I'm not saying it's not true though.
Right. I didn't lie, but it is a
She
lie.
had the hair pulled back like a caveman forehead. I was like, is that her wig or is that her forehead sloped like that?
The answer is yes.
She looked like the original man.
She did. She did. She looked like every picture of a caveman in like every science book ever.
As wide as her nostrils, she should have sniffed the $70,000 out the nigga pockets.
Right.
She should have
Like
just
speaking of, like also, this is why this is why you don't general rule of thumb. You don't try to play leverage with a nigga that shows you that he don't give a fuck. You already, cause she tried to. You
she
can't.
tried to embezzle money from him. She tried to blackmail him. And so at first, okay, let's step back. When Carly and Jock go on a double date with the boss and the husband Shooter, I don't know her name because she's annoying too. I'm gonna
Sierra.
tell you, Sierra. Sierra's very annoying, but
Cheers.
so when Shooter and Sierra and Jock and Carly go on a date, it became clearly obvious to me that Shooter is sick of being married to Sierra and he ain't had no fucks to give. Now, when I saw that, I immediately thought back to Mariah and Shooter, and you know what I said to myself? He ain't about to give her shit. He don't care. He sick of being married. He's sick of having a side chick. He's sick of having a wife. And Shooter just sick.
He's sick of all
Shooter,
of them.
Shooter was sick of everything. So when all this shit blew up, Shooter said, "Yeah, I did it."
He told her he was like she gonna find out eventually. Like you can't play and see this is where Mariah fucked up. She tried to play hardball with a nigga that actively was telling her he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You can't win that. Like you can't leverage with it when a nigga anybody really, but when a nigga tell you he don't give a fuck, you can't leverage that. Like you look,
No.
like Mariah lost her bargaining chip. Like her bargaining chip was you don't want your wife to find out. The gag is he told you he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I
He
was
was
about to
like,
say, and Shooter was like, "Joke's on you, tell her, because I'm sick of her ass too." So
right.
when
Like he
people
told her she gonna
you
find out eventually. Like you lose your bargaining chip. You trying
when
to
you
scam this nigga out of money, but again, like I said, you lose your bargaining chip when the nigga actively is telling you, "I don't give a fuck if she finds out. I'm sick of her. Shit, I'm sick of you. I'm just sick all around. I don't care about none of this
then
shit."
see, you can't yet see. Let this be a lesson. one, you shouldn't want to be nobody's side anyways. But if that's what you choose to do, don't be a side to somebody who's sick of their main relationship. You don't have no bargaining chips in that. Shooter face looked fed up in all the scenes of him too.
Every
If we
single
want to
last
be
one of them.
honest, every time we see Shooter, he looked like he just want to go on vacation with a bitch he liked, and that's not Sierra or Mariah.
Right.
It's just Shooter.
Right.
Shooter just looked despondent and tired. When they was in the place for the club, she was like, "Well, you better take your ass on to the bank and get a business loan." And
Right.
then he balled the paper up and threw it. He's like, "Well, shit, I guess she gonna find out anyways." What I mean, and then when Sierra confronted him, he again just didn't have not a nary fuck to give. He didn't have a single. He had negative fucks.
He didn't have a fuck for her or Sierra.
He was like, I heard Lovely Mimi said you and Mariah fucking. He was like, well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, which I mean,
They're like, so you ain't gonna say it's not true? He like, shit, it is true.
right. There's nothing you could do with a nigga like that. Like that again, Mariah lost her bargaining chip. She was trying to bargain and play big joker with a nigga that had no fucks to give. You cannot do shit with a nigga that has no fucks to give. You can't do it.
Yeah, he didn't care. He ain't had nothing for her.
Not nothing. Now you look. Now you here with the egg on your face, mad because you tried to play highball with a nigga that had all the cards. Like let that be a lesson.
Yeah, so
Um,
that. But yeah, I don't really care. I don't like Mariah. I don't like Lovely Mimi, and I don't like Melissa. So I don't even really like Sierra, but yeah, all the new people annoying, but they play a role in the drama. I will say.
right. And that drama is Carly Red.
Carly, listen. Imagine your grandma always in the middle of some church gossip. That's Carly Red with Atlanta.
Always.
Carly
Always.
Carly Red made a statement tonight, and I think I must have laughed for 5-10 minutes when she said, "I just don't understand how I keep ending up in the middle of folks cheating stuff." What you
And
mean?
listen. She said, and I quote because I tweeted this right after she said it. When she was like, "Is there anybody in this city that is not cheating?" And I tweeted this verbatim. I was like, "Because you fucking them all, Carly." Now listen. I am not here to clock anyone's pussy miles. Look, I am not Tyrese. But if we gonna tell the story, then damn it, we have to tell it all. And yeah, Carly, you do know all the men who ain't fucking because they all fucking you. Like,
Pretty much.
let's be honest here, beloved.
To this day, I still feel like Tommy should beat the brakes off Carly for the scrap situation. You're not
Yeah,
gonna change my mind on it. You're not gonna tell me no differently. If Carly had never tried to befriend Tommy, I would be like, okay, fair game. But Carly befriended Tommy, tried to hang out with Tommy, kept up with Tommy, was calling her homegirl, all kind of stuff, and she was fucking jailbird scrap. And now
with the
I,
blowout.
I really hate to see women fight over men, but Carly was flagrant, and she's always flagrant. Carly did the same thing with Jock. She knew Jock baby mama Cena, and still ended up messing with Jock. And this is while Jock and Cena was still messing around. This was the season when Jock out was on camera licking chocolates off Cena toes. So yeah, I'm not a Carly Red fan. I'm not a fan of her bottom teeth stepping on each other. I'm not a fan of her wigs. I'm not a fan of them cheap skirts and leather shirts she be wearing and shit. Carly is a dub to me, honestly. And always acting like she care about them chicks when she just be trying to learn their business.
Listen, somebody, I don't know who it was, but somebody introduced Carly as their friend, and I could not contain myself from laughing. I think it was Sierra. Yeah,
Maybe
it
it
was
was.
Sierra. She
Yeah.
introduced. I think she introduced Carly to people as her friend, and I was like, "Oh no, baby, what is you doing?"
Yeah.
Carly Red is nobody's friend. Nobody.
Nobody. And
Carly Red is Carly Red's friend.
when she dropped the bomb on Rashida, she did what she had to do, but be
At the
clear, Carly
same
Red
time.
is not a friend. Carly did what Rashida deserved to know, but Carly wasn't doing it from a friendly place.
Right.
That Guess if that makes sense. It's like playing with the devil. Like the devil will show you that somebody else is not good for you, but it's because they had their own self-serving reasons. That's Carly for me. Carly will drop the business in your lap, but it's not because she fuck with you. It's because she messy and she want to have something to laugh about.
Right. She is, and it's not out of the goodness of her heart. She wants to see the world burn.
Yes.
You know, like that's yeah. Like if you look up the word messy in the dictionary, you'll see a picture of Carly Red.
And her bottom teeth, because they
Right.
messy
And
too.
her weed and her bundles. Who be having worse bundles, Yandy or Carly Red?
I'm gonna say Carly Red. Yandy just had 37 bundles in her head. Like I wonder how big Yandy head really is because she always got so much goddamn weave in her hair. I know her neck hurt. Yandy gotta have the strongest neck in America. She gonna be able to suck Metiti's dick out his body when he get out of jail because she got a neck made for the strength of sucking dick
She,
from holding up all that weave.
you know what? You know what? I can't reasonably dispute that.
Her neck is strong.
I can't. You
That
got damn
neck is
right. You right.
she got a
Um,
neck. Yeah.
but so is it anything else we need to cover for this season so far? Before we get into tonight's episode.
Uh let's quickly touch on Waka Flocka showing up at the door with the suitcases.
My nigga, listen. Okay, so I love how Walker, when he gets around his children, is like not a bad person for like 15 seconds. I do appreciate that. But this nigga really, he showed. You know what he did? He showed up like shit. He showed up like Will Ferrell did at that damn hotel in Dumb and Dumber. That's how he showed up. And Tammy, bless her heart. I mean, I know she gonna take him back because she's stupid, but bless Tammy hard. She was putting up. So she giving us a hell of a performance of acting like she not gonna take that nigga back. I will say that
Correct.
because she was like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "What are you doing here?" And she put that extra ear on it, like your mama when
Why
she
are your suitcases? What are you doing here? Like, yeah, she did the most.
like she did the most like when your mama calling you so you can get the whooping because you know damn well you in the wrong.
Correct.
That's how she. That's what how she. That's how that extra that she did with Walker. But yeah, like I will say this. I will say this. If you Walker, what else can you do? Because like at this point, up before he went to Mama Deb this episode, at that point you have exhausted all your resources. So what the fuck else can you do but just show up with some suitcase and be like, I miss you? I mean, you really have no other recourse.
You know what really bothers me about Waka and Tammy is that he he ain't ugly, he ain't broke, but his Wakas don't fly, and so he got the audacity to be cheating because he know ain't really no repercussions except for girls DMing his wife. Ain't no proof. Ain't gonna be no babies because he can't make no babies. Like I feel like he kept taking advantage of a situation and he still got caught like an idiot. That's I think that's my biggest problem with Waka Flocka.
Right?
It's
It's
like
like he
shit,
had.
I can't get nobody pregnant. I might as well do my thing and still got caught.
Right. It's like he had the perfect cheat code, but still lost the game.
Correct. He's an idiot. So I guess like you said, the crazy part is we know that she take him back, but still.
Right. It's just like, girl, why?
Mhm. So yeah, but I just wanted to touch on that. That was funny. He did show up like he had just got kicked out, like he was an orphan, asking to come back home.
Right. That shit was hella fun. Like he showed up, like he showed up, he showed up like he was like waiting on some like peas and porridge or some shit.
Yeah, and like you said, she put the "What are you doing here?" That was
Right.
funny.
That shit was hella funny. That unnecessary ass ear. That shit was funny as fuck. But I was like, go ahead, Tammy, give us this Shakespearean art performance when we know you're gonna take that nigga back.
Give us this strong black woman. I'm not taking no cheating ass nigga back thing just to take a cheating nigga back and tweet stupid on Twitter.
Right, right, right. Give us this theater.
I hate you.
I love you too, nigga. uh, so yeah, so let's get into it. This episode, scale of 1 to bitch yes. How was this episode?
This episode was light, but it was a good setup for next week.
Nigga, yes.
If I could say so myself, like it was light, but it was like, oh, it's gonna be lit next week.
Right.
Yeah, like
It's
that.
it's the calm before the storm.
Yeah, like so. Okay, I'm a fan of Tommy.
Yes, Queen Tommy.
Tommy is crazy, but as long as you not doing malicious shit to Tommy, Tommy is not doing malicious shit to you.
Right.
I can
I
say
can't.
that.
I will. You can give her that.
I will say that. If you not stabbing Tommy in the back, Tommy not stabbing you in the back. So I was really glad to see Tommy start a legitimate business that's not gonna lead to another mugshot added to her mugshot gallery.
Right. Because I mean, niggas love wine.
Niggas love wine. Niggas love a good Chardonnay. I'm
Yes.
not gonna hold you.
Yes.
And the alcohol industry is one of those industries where it's always space for anybody, regardless of their occupation or their level of fame. If you can get a bottle of liquor in a corner store or in a liquor store, you can make some money.
Especially in Trump's America.
Yes. And one thing that crosses all the race barriers and all the gender barriers and all the sexual orientation barriers is alcohol. Everybody like to drink.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you black, white, blue, purple, fat, slim, famous, not famous.
I don't care. I don't care if you musty. You enjoy a drink.
Yeah, everybody like a drink, and everybody likes a lot of people like a glass of wine.
Mm-hmm. Nigga, I just started getting into wine this year, and nigga, it be lit.
Yep,
Cause you
Sunday
know
night.
I'm a country nigga. In the country we don't believe in wine, but nigga. But nigga.
Yep. So that was the one thing that I like to see about this episode. The other thing is, every time we've been watching Love and Hip Hop for years now, and we've seen damn near everybody on that episode be drunk and fucked up and starting shit. So I keep wondering why they trying to keep push it as Tommy is an alcoholic. We done seen that whole cast drunk and messy.
Right.
Multiple
Right.
times.
Right. It ain't just Tommy.
No, it ain't just Tommy. So I'm team Tommy. I'm team Jock. I would Jock one of those people that you like to hang out with because he really don't have bad intentions. Even if he do some dumb shit, his intentions ain't bad.
Right. Right.
So I like Jock. I'm a fan of Jock and Tommy.
I'm a fan of Jock and Jock's hair.
Yeah, I like the Anita Baker hairdo. It grew on me.
Right. At first I was like, nigga, what? But as time passed and heals all wounds and all edges, I'm here for Jock's hair.
Caught up in the rapture of it's going down.
Yeah. What the hell is wrong with you? But yes, I am proud of Tommy. Like I said, I am Team Tommy. She is as crazy as a soup sandwich, but I love me some Tammy. I mean not Tammy. I love me some Tommy. Um, let's see. From this episode, I I know we touched on it, but I, so this meeting that Mariah and Sierra had, why? Like I like girl,
What do you want to
why
know?
you not meeting with your nigga?
She screwed your husband. Like, what do you need to know from her that you can't ask your husband?
And then, like, try to come at now. Look, listen. Mariah is trash for this. Yes, she is.
She is trash.
But let us not forget the fact that your nigga willingly did this. Like she asked Mariah to explain what happened to see her side. And then when Mariah tells her
She called her
side and what happened, she says she's lying and then talks about the girl's body. Now, again, Mariah is trash for this, but how can you have the audacity to say that she's lying when the shit was spilled? Your nigga who didn't deny any goddamn thing and said she gonna find out anyway. So you gonna believe Mariah's lying, but your nigga ain't denying shit. Something about that math don't add up.
Nah, the math shaky. And like I said, I understand she got every right to have an issue with Mariah because that was her friend, that was her employee,
Correct.
and all that kind of shit. I get that, but if you gonna ask somebody for a sit down to get their side of the story, then get their side of the story and keep it moving. Don't call her no liar because the fact of the matter is, boy of a body or not, shoot her like something because they ended up screwing and she got $20,000 from him at the end of the day.
Right.
So somewhere along
Somebody
the line,
lying.
Mariah's story is adding up.
I mean, I'm not saying that Mariah secured the bag, but she got a portion of that motherfucker.
Yeah, I ain't never got $20,000 straight up from being nobody from being with a man. Period. Just 20,000 cash in hand. So shit, she did better than a lot of chicks did. So something that she said when they sat down was true. He liked her. He liked screwing her. He liked something. He liked her. Something about Mariah Shooter really liked because not only did he step out on his marriage, but he stepped out on their bank account.
Right. Using your money. Cause you know damn well Shooter ain't got no damn job. So Mariah had to be getting money from somewhere. So it was obviously something that
We seen them put at least $1,000 in their hand on the one episode, so she ain't lying.
right. She got the racks. She now when she fucked up trying to get more racks and playing with leverage she didn't have, but that does not change the fact that she got the racks. So I understand that Sierra hurt. I understand that she's in a tumultuous place and rightfully so. But I don't know about calling that girl a liar because I mean, again, you asked for this side of the story. If you didn't want this side of the story, then you shouldn't have asked for this side of the story. And calling her a liar when at this point she don't have no reason to lie. Somebody, no, girl, no.
Yeah, something about it.
All right, so we got that. Also, I would just like to say that whole situation is just musty as hell, though. Honestly,
Yeah, it's very musty.
yeah, it's very I don't wash my pussy. Yeah, it's very much that.
It's very. I ate a can of pineapples, but it still stank. The
All
circumstance
right,
still
all
must.
right, all right, okay, all right. Let's see. So what else? KK. I never thought I said, but KK was the voice of reason in this episode.
Yeah, she was. she made some very good points. She made good points with Tommy, even though she was kind of like, it kind of came across like she ain't believe in her, whereas she could have just left it with, the best way to get this wine business off the ground is by being as sober as possible, as often as possible. She could have
Right.
said that and left it at that. She didn't have to pretty much say, well, you got a drinking problem, so that you're not gonna be successful. She could have just told her, if you want this to really work, you have to be in your best state of mind all the time. And she could have kept it moving. And even at the wine tasting, she was the voice of reason, but I don't understand why anybody keeps trying to be friends with Jessica Dimepiece.
Yeah, yeah. Now I must say, Jessica Dime has all the titties, all of them.
And ass, but she's a bozo.
Yeah, yeah, she is. And also Jessica. Now it's sad though because at one point early on in the season, it seemed like she was becoming the voice, one of the voices of reason, which scared the fuck out of me because of Jessica Dime. But then we get this episode, and it's like, ah, shit. It's like, it's like, it's, it's like just waiting for the ship to drop, the shoe to drop with her. It's like, it's like, okay, Jessica, come on now. You got all the titties, all the ass. You kind of sort of seem like you're settling down, and then it's like, oh, here we go.
It's hard to take serious anybody who's been intimate with Jocelyn, and that's even
Good
me.
point. Good
That's
point.
me. That's Stevie J. That's any man or woman that's had a threesome with Jocelyn. It's hard to take them serious.
Listen,
And
Jocelyn must have the Jamaican dick of tongue because she be having all these women going crazy, and I do not understand.
yeah, when I found out that, well, if you remember, Jocelyn completely denied knowing Jessica Dimepiece when she first popped up on the season.
Right.
Right? Remember that? I don't know. I don't know that bitch. I don't know her. These bitches just want to get fame off of my name. Like, Jocelyn accent and shit.
Right. She
Out,
sounded like the background voice on Mercy. Yeah.
yeah. So come to find out, not only did she know Jessica Dimepiece, but they was screwing each other. And so I'm just not sure what make you forgive somebody who threw money in your face and
And denied
water.
your pussy.
And denied you and knowing you and fucking you and everything else. So I knew Jessica Dime didn't really have them all. The other part is she too invested in this thing with Carly, Jock, and Tommy.
You think low key she want to fuck Jock?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I was thinking that too. I just thought I was alone in thinking that. So I just wanted to make sure I ain't crazy.
Yes.
Because I've been thinking that for a minute. I'm like, because like you said, she's too invested in it. Like it ain't really
She just way too invested for her and Tommy and her and Carly not to be that cool. So yeah, she's a weirdo. And I do think Tommy had a point. Don't come to, like, at the beginning of the season, she was telling Tommy to try to talk to Jocelyn, wasn't she?
Try to work it out.
So you talked all kind of cash shit about this woman, dragged her through the mud, and all of a sudden you want to make up with her and be in a video for a terrible song. And no,
Nigga.
you know that I don't just dislike this woman, but I've been in legal trouble because of this woman. Like, you gotta pick a side. You
Yeah.
can't be friends with both of us, and you can't be going back and forth and telling this and telling that. I don't like that kind of stuff.
Right. Now I will say it was hilarious fuck that Thomas said informant. That shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah,
But she did have a point.
yeah, she called her an informant, and I was hollering, and it was, and it was true. And then Jessica Dimepiece is a coward because she wanted to jump on Tammy, and she about 60 pounds heavier than Tammy.
Right. That shit came out of nowhere. And
Talk about, because Tammy says she don't like, she think women shouldn't wear pink and purple hair after a certain age. That would set you off?
right. Like it's just so that was just so weird. Like that entire scene literally went 0 to 100, and of course it would be lovely fucking Mimi
Who set it off?
to set it off. Oh, fucking course. But yeah, that whole scene was just weird. Like it literally went from Tommy crying and being very emotional and just having a real like I'm that bitch moment and rightfully so to like drink throwing and fighting. Like it was really weird. It went really south really fast, really weird.
Yeah, it did. And uh it was one more thing that was really on my mind about this episode. Uh Oh, you know what? No, I know what it was. I'm so glad they keeping Bambi and them little ass Bambi baby teeth off my TV screen this season.
Yeah, yeah, we haven't really. Yeah, yeah, Bambi hasn't. She was in like one
One
episode,
episode when they went to the counseling with Scrappy Dad and Stepmama.
right? And
That's
it's
all
like,
I need. I've never been a fan of Bambi. I haven't been a fan of Bambi since Basketball Wives LA, which is where she got her start at. She started on Basketball Wives LA and somehow
true.
transitioned her ass to Love and Hip Hop LA by being in the hot tub with married men and shit like that. So I've never been a fan of Bambi. I was not even a fan of how Bambi popped up when Scrappy and Erica was still together either. Because remember, he started messing with Bambi while he was ending stuff with Erica.
True.
So
Yeah, yeah. Cause I was like, good point. Cause I was like, is Bambi still with us? Yeah, but yeah. Like I just, yeah. It's just everything. This episode was light and setting up for next week, but it was also weird at the same time.
wait, Jeremy, are we gonna skip over Mama D and Ernest?
Oh, nigga! I almost forgot. Good, this why you my nigga. Y'all, you never forget the important stuff,
In
nigga.
that order. In that
In
order.
that
In that
order, nigga. Mama D. First of all, our first introduction to Mama D this season was her in this goddamn um gas station ass outside next to a Waffle House on Peachtree ass um bootleg ass Janet Jackson control inspired esque ass video for in that order her blazing single. Nigga, I ain't heard that shit on the radio not
when
once.
she said she was an international superstar, I slid off the couch.
Nigga, she must mean she spelled the word international on Instagram. Cause
Still, remember she couldn't spell bitch, Bicth.
nigga, why, for someone whose catchphrase is in that order, why her syllables ain't never in order?
Never, nothing, ever.
Not one damn syllable that she says is ever in order. Like Mama D, somebody lying.
The fact that Mama D is mad at Ernest for being a mama's boy, like she don't do the same shit with Scrappy, I was really dumbfounded. Like she
Bro.
really hate Ernest mama, and Ernest mama is an older version of her.
Right. Right. Like I when she said that I was literally that blinking white man GIF, which that shit makes me laugh. I might not ever get tired of that shit.
When I knew Mama D was a nasty old freak bitch. Uh,
I know what you're about to say. I think I know what you're about to say.
when she told Ernest, if your mama can fuck you better than me, we need to have a threesome. I was really fucking disgusted. I really didn't know whether to throw up or boo boo. That's how nasty it was. Like, like, like,
Okay, that's it. We're gonna end the show right now. That's it. This nigga.
Nah, that's true. Don't tell me you ain't feel the same way when she said that nasty shit. You was like, ooh, should I throw up or should I go take a shit? This don't feel right. How you say some nasty shit like that? That's too nasty.
Oh shit! I hate you. I swear I hate you. Speaking of Mama D's theatrics, she went from, remember, was it last season or a couple of seasons ago when she did that voodoo chant in Rashida's store?
When she dropped the nest in the hay, cause she
Yes,
called
so
Rashida a
she went
burger.
from that
She
to
made a
this
nest in the
season
store.
when she when she had when they had the meeting, and then she put down the damn diaper and some drawers and gave it to Ernest and his mama. Nigga.
Yeah, when she gave him the bag of baby stuff, and I was just like, okay, this bitch crazy.
Right. 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 Like that's all I could say was like, Mama D crazy.
As hell. She is really fucking crazy.
Oh shit. That's
Yeah,
whoo nigga.
yeah, we couldn't. I couldn't let us forget about Mama D and Ernest. Poor Ernest. I bet you he wish he was back in jail. Like he did what he got out of jail for to be humiliated on TV all the time.
Right. Right. And then the hilarious thing about Ernest for me is that every season he come up with a new reason why he ain't shit.
Yeah,
Every single season. Every single season is another he got another reason to why he ain't worth a damn. Every single season.
he ain't found a job yet.
Right. And he been on how many seasons?
This the second one, ain't it? Or the third one?
Gotta be. It's gotta be the third. It's gotta be one of the two.
Mama D the one that sent them to jail, ain't she?
You know what, Candace? I think so.
She snitched on him.
In that order. Whew, shit. Yeah, good looking out. We couldn't let that slide without talking about Mama D and Ernest. It's like it's like Ernest dad. I ain't heard a legit reason as to why Ernest ain't got a job yet. And like I say, he been on at least like 3 seasons.
I can't even call
He
it.
ain't even blame the economy. You know, a lot of times when niggas don't have no job, they blame the economy or blame the white man. He ain't even blame the white man yet.
Nah, he just don't care. He like,
Right,
shit, we on TV.
right. Ernest just happy to be there.
Pretty much. That's pretty much all that is.
Oh shit.
And you know,
So
this only half the season. This would make the shit so crazy. We
right, we
ain't
got a
even got
full
to
ass
the
show, and
we
this
ain't
only
even
half the season.
we ain't even get to the good part yet. I ain't feel a need to discuss Stevie J and Jocelyn because they shit is they same old drama.
Right,
They
they
just added a
storyline is tired
pregnancy
as fuck,
to it.
honestly. Like we
It's
really
like
don't need their storyline if we keeping it all the way 100.
yeah, it's like resident drama. We know it's there. We know how they gonna act. They added a pregnancy. Whoopie doo. Stevie J the daddy, but we already knew that. Like
It's like Metaphor and Yandy. Like we know how that storyline ends.
yeah, they ain't. We don't care. Then when unless something pop off on this next half of the season, then we could come back and discuss it at the big wrap up. But other than that, I don't really care about their storyline. It's been the same storyline for 5 6 years now. So I mean, I'm pretty much over it. The new shit happening. I want to find out when we gonna find out is this Kirk baby or not. That's what I want to know. And I
Listen.
want to see if Rashida and Jasmine is gonna ever have a sit down and talk. Like that's the stuff I want to see.
I'm also just waiting for Kurt to die, honestly.
He looked dead, so we getting close.
Yeah, I mean it evens out. It evens out. Shit. So I think I think we covered everything. I can't really think of nothing off the top of my head else we really need to talk about. Can you?
No, not with love and hip hop.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, and we about almost at like an hour and some change anyway. So we this was gonna be strictly a loving hip hop show, but it's like with last week when we was going to do a all misconnections episode, but stuff happened and we, it wouldn't be me and Dan if we didn't address it, and it wouldn't be us and it wouldn't be our show if we didn't address this. So on Sunday, was it Sunday, Candace?
Yeah, I said yesterday on Easter.
Yeah, it was yesterday on Easter that a man in Cleveland, Ohio, he he
He killed an elderly man using the Facebook Live feature and has not yet been captured. He has claimed to have killed at least 15 people. There has been no verified sources to substantiate that claim. But he said that he has killed an additional 13 to 14 people outside of Mr. Godwin. That was the guy. That was the man's name. His name was I can't think it. I don't remember his first name, but his last name was Godwin. Mr. Godwin. He was 78. He was a retired foundry worker. They said he had 9 kids, 14 grandkids, and countless great grandkids. He was known in the Cleveland community. He had been born and raised in Cleveland, raised his family in Cleveland. Said he was, good people, never bothered anybody. He was senselessly and disgustingly killed for no reason other than the guy's name is Steve Stevens. Uh, I Mike can see why he's a crazy individual. He got two first names, but
hey.
Steve Steve Stevens, he went by Stevie Steve on Facebook. If you Google Cleveland shooter, it's everywhere. If you want to know what he looks like and information on his vehicle and anything, if you see him, if you're in Ohio, if you're in the Cleveland area, even if you're in surrounding areas, because they don't know if he's left Ohio or not yet. So if you're in Indiana, Michigan, Pennsylvania, New York, all these states are surrounding Ohio. I could give you specific cities. Uh, if you're in Erie, PA, you might want to be on the lookout. Erie is 90 minutes from Cleveland. Buffalo, New York is 2 hours from Cleveland. Detroit, Michigan is 2.5 hours from Cleveland. And then Indiana is right next door. So I would really, 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 really be on the lookout for this man. He's not been captured. I would keep your loved ones going, but keep them up to date. But he said that his ex cheated on him, and then he developed a gambling problem. And in the last year, he had gambled his life away pretty much, and that his ex nor his mother wanted to have any communication with him, and that he would continue to kill innocent people until he was contacted by his mother or his ex. Um, that was what was said. That was his purpose for what he did, and in my honest opinion, is there's never any excuse for what he did. I don't care if 14 bitches cheated on him. I don't care if he lost his life savings, his car, his house, his Nike fleece pants, his Jordans. Nothing excuses what he did yesterday and what he's claiming he did in terms of killing 15 people total. So if you come across this man, run, hide, beware, call the police, don't approach him, don't try to reason with him. He's beyond reason. Get move out the way, please.
Yes. Um, and so in lieu of this, and in lieu of his reasoning, from like Candace said, from his reportedly his own accounts, there was reaction, and naturally, some some positive, some negative, some not really anywhere in between, but it's people, and people are gonna people. I think on Facebook they actually found his ex's Facebook and was harassing her and blaming her, and she actually had to come out and apologize um for what he did, like apologizing like she had anything to do with it,
Yeah, that
which is
really
very fucked up.
that really broke my heart. His wife, I mean his ex. I don't know if it's his ex girlfriend or his ex wife. I'm not sure. But his ex came out and made a statement to the news, pretty much saying that he was a nice guy. He treated her well, treated her kids well, and this, that, and the third. I believe this was a statement that she was told to make by the FBI as to not anger him anymore
I can believe that.
because he's still at large. He's uncaptured, and so you don't want to keep poking a raging bear.
Right.
Um, but I feel sorry for her. There have been. I'm from Cleveland, born and raised in a small suburb outside of Cleveland. Walking to Cleveland was a 5-10 minute walk for me growing up. So I'm from Cleveland. So just being from Cleveland, you start to hear stories. Even the biggest city is but so big. Uh, but there have been accounts of people who known him, and they said that he's always been really aggressive in nature. There's always been something very off about him and his interactions, especially with women. So I'm inclined to believe that this guy was probably very abusive, very aggressive, and whatever happened between him and his ex, I'm pretty sure she probably reached a breaking point and she left, especially if she had kids. She
Right.
got away for her and her kids. So, and then again, we dealing with somebody with mommy issues. He said his mom was never there for him, and she let him down, and this, that, and third. So you dealing with an individual who had a lot of baggage.
Right.
So
And again, none of this is to excuse anything that he did.
no, no, no. I'm not excusing anything. Just
No, I know. I'm just,
yeah, just painting a picture of what's being painted in the media world right now, and what little we know about him.
right.
He worked for a uh, mental health facility for youth, if I'm not mistaken, which is scary enough in itself when you start to think about somebody who had mental health issues themselves. And you got to hope that he was not abusing those children in that mental health facility, and that
Right.
he was able to do his job and not worsen the condition of the patients he was helping. So a lot is very scary. Some of the stuff that came up on Twitter, both that I agree with, but maybe it was the time or place. But um, the conversation about mental health awareness, um, it is very hard to be sympathetic for somebody's mental wellness when they start killing people. Um, One thing that you have to be aware of in wanting people to be sensitive to people with mental health issues and mental health instabilities and things of that nature is that, one, they are not bad people. People with mental health issues typically are not violent to other people. They are more of a threat to themselves than anybody else. What
Correct.
what this guy is doing is not normal by any stretch of the imagination. Let's just cut that out now. I don't want to put that stigma on people with mental health issues. It's not fair to them. A lot of people with mental health issues are not going on shooting sprees. They're not killing innocent people on Facebook Live. They're not doing things of that nature. Again, they're usually more of a threat to themselves than to anybody else. They're more likely to harm themselves than to harm others. And that's that. And two, if you need help, please reach out before you get to the point where you feel like you will harm yourself or anyone else.
Yes.
If you,
Um,
yeah, that's it's just it's crazy.
yeah, and so that's part of it. Then the other part of it was that a couple of people gave their opinions on it. And it really started a shitstorm. And honestly, I feel that it's more of who said it than what was actually said, and even the timing. Because here's the thing: it brought up a topic about toxic masculinity and how violent men are, and some people were saying that it wasn't the time to bring it up and stuff. And on one hand, I get that, but at the same time, like, we can't act like it's not connected. And if not, if this isn't the time, then when? Like, you can't, like,
I think
um like I
I
said, I
think
think it was more. Oh, go ahead, Candace. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it was more of who said it and when they said it and how they said it. Um,
Right.
it seemed more of a agenda than a let's have a healthy discussion about this. But that is the regular for Twitter. But um, the statements were made in the midst of this situation breaking, even across social media platforms. It hadn't really broken on major news outlets yet. I spoke to my family yesterday, and when I told them about it, it hadn't even made it to the local news there yet. So
That kind of goes to, like, Twitter. Twitter really has been like the news for about ever since Ferguson, if we keep it in a book.
Twitter is it is hard to not have a Twitter. I've often said I wish I could delete my Twitter, but a lot of the breaking news breaks on Twitter before it even reaches your TV screen these days.
Right.
That
Because
is
you
just how powerful social media is now. So, this story was breaking across Twitter when the individual started basically saying, a men, y'all are scum. Y'all are so much scum that this man is killing innocent men and women and whoever else because his woman left him or he was rejected by a woman, and y'all are forever scum for that, and y'all ain't shit in this. So this is what was said in the midst of this story really making its way to the masses. And for me being from Cleveland, I felt like the timing was a bit inappropriate because as it was breaking, we more or less I more or less would have liked to see people getting this man's picture out, information on this man, information on his car, information on his last whereabouts. That was more of the stuff that I myself was posting as I was finding out information both locally through people who were in the city. Like I had some followers who were in Cleveland and they were out and about as this was happening and they were tweeting me telling me police was coming in restaurants locking them down. Hospitals yesterday were on lockdown as this was happening. So that was the information I was trying to spread. And I feel like if you have a certain rapport with your followers, when tragedies like this happen, I feel like if you give any type of a damn about the people that follow you and people you follow, you will try to get this type of information to them because it becomes a matter of safety, not just for your followers who might be in that city, but for their families and their friends and possibly their kids and their grandkids and nieces and that. Like it becomes a matter of safety. I think when those comments were made, it was really a mist of trying to get this information out for people's safety. So it was an inappropriate time in my opinion. If this conversation had started 24 hours later, a day after we got the description of his vehicle, pictures of him and last whereabouts and stuff, then I don't think people might have taken it as personally.
I here's why I disagree with that, and I understand your perspective, and I totally understand your perspective, and I do agree that um um getting people to safety and make sure people are safe, that is a that should be a major area of concern. It should be a priority. I totally understand that and do not disagree with that at all. Here's why I feel like that necessarily, not saying you, but people who reacted. This is why I feel like it was more of who said it than what was said, because it it didn't. The reactions weren't the reactions other people had weren't yours. The reactions other people had were calling the conversation of toxic, masculinity and men being violent and stuff like that and agenda, which that's two totally different things. It's two totally different things saying that one person has an agenda, which I mean, I don't necessarily like the individual that made the comments, but like it's one of those things where it's someone that you don't like said something you can't that said something that you may not like them, but you can't really dispute
But
it,
then
kind of sort of, and you up here looking like the Alonzo Mourning gif. You like just shaking your head and stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
I don't necessarily care for the person either, but I saw the comments, I saw the tweets, and I couldn't disagree with them.
right, like
It was I mean minus the whole bitch ass niggas scum like minus if you were to take out all of the childish name calling and restate what she said, I fully agree with where she was headed with the conversation, minus the extras, you know? I agree that masculinity is very toxic. If you even look at the stats, and it says that 31% of women are killed by their romantic partners versus 5% of men are killed by their romantic partners of the
right.
opposite
And
sex.
then when you throw race into that equation, it jumps up to 51% of black women are killed by their domestic partners. Like, so like you can't really like separate the two. You know what I mean? And it started this whole topic today about, you know, gender wars and why y'all say men are trash and stuff. And it's like, look, dog, look, listen.
If you look at the history of, if you were to go as far back as possible, if we were to just look at the history, if we were to go back as far as what slavery, stop at
Yeah,
slavery, and not even just looking at black men, but look at men, period. Black women have always been abused and mistreated by men in this country.
right.
As far
Like
back
you
as
can't.
slavery, when white men were raping black women and raping slaves and killing them or beating them until they have abortions, and or getting them pregnant and taking their kids and selling them into slavery. The history of abuse against black women is not fabricated.
Correct. And obviously, like you can't just like you can't separate the history of racism from this country, you can't separate the history of misogyny and sexism and just flat out mistreatment of women from this country either. Well, not even just this country, but the world in
The
general. But
world, yeah.
specifically in this country, you can't separate the two. Like you can't, just like I said, just like you can't separate racism, you can't separate sexism. It's to do that, you're very much in denial and you're very much a part of the problem. So that's why I say I I understand your perspective of it was a maybe an ill-timed, or maybe it was too harsh or whatever. I understand your perspective,
Yeah,
but
and I agree with you that it was the person who said it. It was
right,
a, it was a
because
number of factors that
go-
led the well, let me be completely honest. This conversation will go left no matter who says it, because a lot of the men on Twitter have an issue with accountability when these conversations have come up.
well, and
I don't.
I'll take it, not to cut you off. I'll take it one step further. They have a they have a problem with accountability if it paints men, and specifically black men, in a light. Because I've said it before and I'll say it again. When I see dudes complain about the, men are trash tweets, or men are this, that, and the third, I've said this before and I'll say it again, and I dare somebody to prove me wrong. If black women would put white in front of these men are trash tweets, these niggas would not be complaining. They would not. I dare a nigga. I dare a nigga to tell me otherwise. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you to tell me you would have the same, not all, the same dismissive, the same tone deaf response if black women, black womanists, black feminists, black LGBTQ people, if people would put white in front of men when they make these tweets, these men are trash tweets, it wouldn't be that much controversy. I guarantee you it would. So and I'm gonna pass it back to you. The conversation gets diluted is because, especially among the black Twitter sphere, if it's black men being painted in a bad light, whether it's justified or not, the conversation is always going to be diluted, because in general we always put ourselves first instead of listening to women that look like us, that live y'all's lives and lives y'all experiences, and have to navigate this fucked up ass misogynistic ass system. Oh, by the way, while also dealing with racism.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It just. I think the conversation would not go over well. Period. In Black Twitter, regardless of who's saying it, as long as it's about how toxic masculinity amongst black men is in fact dangerous to black women. So yeah, it could have been, this conversation could be started a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, an hour from now. As long as you said, as long as it's saying, well, black men do have a tendency to be dangerous to black women, it's never going to go over well. It's always going to go left. And one, the most likable person in Black Twitter could say it, and the response will still be what it was yesterday. But again, when it's somebody that is far less liked in Black Twitter sphere, they will take every opportunity to go low, make nasty comments, and a lot of what I did not agree with was I saw people threatening that girl, telling her she should die. Talking about they should beat her ass. Like, stuff like that is so very extra to me. I don't care how much I don't like you. You making a point that has validity to it does not entitle. Well, I don't think, unless you out here killing people and hurting people, wishing death on somebody to me is very extreme, because the death that you wish on other people is usually one that you wishing on yourself. So it
Unless
got
you come across.
it got really extreme yesterday, like really, really extreme. And I like really clocked out because I
Yeah,
wasn't there for that. It got
yeah,
really nasty. I even
yeah,
found myself blocking a few people. Like I said, I don't necessarily like the person in question, but I don't agree with wishing death on her and telling people
yeah.
that somebody
It's
need to
like
beat her ass and somebody need to kill her, and like shit like that is weird to me.
yeah, it's like the thing. It's like what Bow Wow said about Melania. Like, none of us like Melania, but it's like you could be totally justified in not liking somebody, but you go that one extra tick, and then you lose all your credibility. Like when Bow Wow said that him and Snoop was gonna pimp out Melania. Like, nigga, don't nobody fuck with Melania, but you also can't say no shit like that.
Yeah, it's like it's I don't listen. I don't care for none of the first family. Period. Point blank. However, I don't choose to discuss doing harmful things to them, especially not in public places. You know, not on
Right.
Twitter, not on Facebook. It's not a good look.
It's not smart.
It's not smart. It's not useful to anyone. So you sometimes you can get your point across without taking that extra step to be a low life, if that makes sense.
Right. No, it makes perfect sense. But yeah, man, it's just for me, like and also another reason the conversation never really goes anywhere. And like I've Lord, because last week we talked about telling black women like in general are like tired of people niggas telling them what to do. And listen, I it gets exhausting for me to watch black women repeatedly, either voluntarily or involuntarily, explain y'all's humanity to deaf ears. And it's sad because on the one hand, it's like if y'all don't do it, who will? But then it's like y'all are fighting a losing battle. And like men, black men that look like you should be able to, even though we don't experience misogyny and sexism and this, that, and the third like y'all do, we should be able to emphasize just on the mere fact that, nigga, we know what it's like when white people in general, specifically white men, but white people in general, we know what it's like to bear our humanity on race and get shut down every single damn time. Always with the not all white people, always with the you being divisive, always with the what would Martin Luther King do, always with the not well I wasn't born racist, always with the always with the well what about black on black crime. Like, we know what that's like. Black men, we know what that's like. We almost every black man, unless you're a coon like Ben Carson, every black man has experienced that or will experience that in some way, shape, or form in their life. So you would think we would understand not to do that shit to women that look like us, that experience not only racism but also other shit we couldn't even wholly fathom being a woman, and that's being either a cisgendered woman or a transgendered woman. Like, just being a woman under any umbrella of womanhood, we should be able to have empathy that, dog, not only do black women experience racism, they also experience all this other type of shit, and still, in general, whether collectively or even against their own nature or whatever, still more often than not show up and show the fuck out for us, for everybody. We should be able to at least do the favor of, when they speaking, not go full white man like the white man does to us every goddamn time. And it's just infuriating to see dudes that look like you. And this is coming from a dude that used to be a not all man nigga ass nigga myself. It took me shutting the fuck up and listening to people and then doing my own Googles to be like, well, men do kind of have a history of systematically being oppressive and harmful to women. So maybe I should shut the fuck up with the not all man shit. I mean, it's kind of valid, I mean, like what am I gonna do with arguing with facts? Like what? I mean, who are me? Who are me to say no? You would think more niggas would do that, but we don't. Not enough. Not across the board.
Well, I think the one of the things, like, I'm to a place where I saw a tweet yesterday and it said, black men We love you, we adore you, we will help you unlearn, we will help you. Yeah, I'm not that person. I'm not that black woman. I'm not. Here's the thing. A lot of you niggas have a lot of you niggas were able to learn what you needed to learn to graduate from high school. Hell, even some of you niggas was able to learn what you had to learn to get a college degree. You learn what you need to learn to get a job and keep a job. You learn what you need to learn to be a parent. You learn what you need to learn to drive a car. You know how a lot of you niggas know what it takes to learn something. You are not void of the ability to learn and retain information and process that information. No matter how stupid and obtuse you behave on social media, you are capable of learning information. You learned how to tweet. You learn how to use social media. You learn how to use phones as phones have evolved and technology has evolved. So I am not in a place mentally, emotionally, nor physically to take on the task of helping you learn and unlearn things that you picked up along the way. If you want to learn, you will learn. If you don't want to, you won't. And you'll continue to be ignorant. You'll continue to be obtuse. And you'll continue to contribute to the harm that may one day come to women in your family, your kids, your this, your like you will, if you continue to contribute to that, then you have a right to be mad when it hits close to your home and your village. That is my thought process with the whole help men learn, help men change. I'm not helping you do shit. You know what it takes to change. You know what it takes to learn. Do so. I'm not fixing you. I'm
Right,
not healing you. I don't get paid for that shit. I
right.
don't
Like
get
that's
paid to fix.
why I listen. I don't mean to be harsh with it, but that's why I'm not on the whole, you know, that's why I'm not with the whole teaching thing because yeah, teaching people sounds good and teaching people, how to unlearn shit sounds good and that each one teach one shit. Yeah, that sounds good, but that also like people don't want to hear the other side of that too where it's literally an emotional toll on you to explain your humanity and then explain your humanity over and over again. Like people don't I don't know if people willfully ignore that or like I say, they just want things to sound good. But yeah, teaching people stuff takes an emotional toll on the teacher. And why is it that it's always on the onus of the marginalized group to teach the people in either the oppressive group or privileged and oppressive or group adjacent to be a decent human being? Like,
Yeah, I'm not. Listen. I'm not teaching you how to do shit. I'm gonna start. I'm a pepper spray you in your goddamn face. That's my
right, like,
solution to. My solution is to carry a stun gun, carry some pepper spray, get a gun license, because if I feel like you're gonna harm me, I'm not gonna teach you not to harm me. I'm not gonna beg you not to harm me. I'm gonna harm you first and protect myself. Start
right, like.
pepper spraying these niggas in their face. That's what you do. Pepper spray them and then stun gun them and then go about your business. Let them be shaking and foaming at the mouth on the pavement. That's the
Right,
solution for it. Because
like I
imagine
saw a question. Go,
I had
oh,
this
my bad. Go
hold
ahead.
on. I had this conversation earlier with my husband about the whole we will teach you, we will heal you, we will do this. But imagine telling somebody, I will teach you not to rape. I will teach you not to rape women. I'm gonna help you unlearn rape and sexual assault like behavior. I'm gonna teach you not to be smacking your next girlfriend in the face. I'm gonna teach you not to be calling your next wife a bitch or a hoe. Like, do you know how to can you imagine when you say it out loud, how stupid does it sound? You can't teach people not to do the dangerous and disgusting things that they want to do because they are personal choices. People have to want to learn and unlearn certain behavior. Nobody else can teach that.
Right,
No.
and also the other problem of it is that again, it's systemic, it's cultural, it's societal. Like I listen, I don't have the patience nor the mental fortitude to educate white people on their systemic oppression of my people. Like I just don't. I don't have that in me. I know people who do, and God bless them. But I ain't the nigga for that shit. Um, which is why, and I know especially recently, with the whole levy situation, this, it's been a thing about people being shady towards people that say, hey, okay, if you do want me to teach you, pay me. I see nothing wrong with that. Like again, people don't want to look at the other side of teaching people and know and acknowledging that it is labor. Like it is like a toll to teach people and teach and try to unlearn what society programs in you. Like that shit, it nigga, do you know how long, like I said, do you know how long it took me to get off that not all men train? Like, do you know, and this is coming from like I won't say my dad is like the most woke, because I mean he is a southern nigga from Southwest GA, but he did teach me how to be a decent human being. And when I look back on some of the stuff he tried to instill me, is literally some of the stuff he tried to teach me that I didn't absorb when I earlier early as I needed to, but eventually I did. Is literally he tried to teach me, even without him knowing it, undoing some of the toxic shit that society programs in men. Like when I had, like before I moved here, when I used to have conversations with my dad about some of this stuff, about, rape culture and how, how men treat women and shit, my dad surprised the fuck out of me, because I'm thinking I'm teaching this nigga something. This nigga like, well, yeah, I told you that when you were young. And I was like, I was that damn Omar gift wire. I was like, nigga. I was like, you know what? You damn sure right. So, and that's my father. Like he's doing that because he loves me and he wants me to be better than what society would have programmed me to be. Nigga, imagine if I ain't had that nigga. Like imagine me being an ashy ass nigga and then demanding labor to talk about teach me unlearn this problematic shit that I could easily, like, Google is fucking free, dog. And I'm sorry, I don't mean that pejoratively, but Google is free. Like if you want to know something, you can, it literally is at your fingertips. Like if you want somebody to teach you this shit, pay them, dog, or at least respect them. And even if you don't want to pay them, at least respect it enough to shut the fuck up about it, because that shit is labor. Like we can't have it both ways, where it's like, well, I don't think, I'm not going. It's not. You can't have both ways, where it's like the onus is not on oppressed people to teach the oppressor, but then shade people for being like, okay, well then, yeah, you're right, so pay me. Like you can't have it both ways, dog.
Yeah, you can, and I agree. But yeah, like there comes a point where you can't teach people to respect or accept or see
Your
or
humanity.
understand or empathize with your humanity. You just gotta pepper spray a motherfucker in their face. Like
Yeah,
you just got a stun gun the motherfucker. You just gotta light them up. That's what it's
right.
gonna boil down to. Like
Like
I
every
can't if
every
you can't
every day.
respect if you can't respect a no or respect somebody's space, respect somebody's decision not to want to be bothered with you, not want to talk to you, not want to be with you, not want to interact with you, um, light their ass up. Leave them shaking on the ground somewhere and go
Yeah,
enjoy the rest of your day.
yeah. Like I listen. Like, and one more thing. Um, I would just also like to say this: like niggas be full of shit because men are bigger misandrists than women can ever be. And I know misandry really isn't a thing. I know it's basically reverse racism, but men know that aren't shit. We know this. We know, and you know why I know this? What does mostly every guy, or every, like any male in any family, what's the first thing we always say? Don't bring no boys around the house. And then we do bring them, we grill them. We be like, what you doing with my daughter? What you doing with my cousin? This, that, and the third. Like we are like we are so overprotective when there's some female woman, female bodied person in our family. We are so overprotective. We tell women that, you know, never go anywhere by yourself. You know, don't talk to boys. You know, where you going, who you going with. We try to monitor all that shit, but then get mad when women say the same shit we say. You know, when a woman says men are trash, it's, you know, you just a man hating feminist, and you know you hate men and all this kind of pejorative ass shit. But when dudes say the same thing, it's, well, we just know how men are. Well, if you know how men are, then you should understand where the hell women coming from. Like they saying, y'all say the same shit. Say the same overprotective ass, you know, generalization shit. Men say that about other men, so it's like niggas know better. You just don't want women saying it because it may be a situation where it's a hit dog hollering. It might hit you, and you don't want you to be put in that light. When it's like, if you're not that nigga, if it don't apply, let it fly, dog. Like, women are out here dying at the hands of men, and unfortunately, black women are dying at the hands of black men. Like, the statistic of the domestic violence statistics. Listen, and we've been going on for a minute. We're about to wrap up and get out here, but the statistic of, you know, where domestic violence ranks for black women is really, it really doesn't matter, and it's really besides the point, because while, you know, on certain CDCs or whatever, domestic violence may not be the number one killer, you know, because people be trying to refute that when certain people say that. Here's something that doesn't get refuted: black women marry black men more than any other group of people, and no one ever disputes that statistic, ever. So if black women marry black men more than any other person, and black women also die from domestic violence, somebody doing the killing, dog. Somebody is doing the killing. Where the number may rank is really besides the point. Somebody is killing black women, and it needs to stop. And if I'm looking at the numbers, all of the numbers, the usual suspects look like black men, dog. Like, nobody has time for your fragility and your feelings when there's people out here dying, and those people also look like you and have your skin and your melanin. Like, ain't nobody have time for your fragility, dog. Either become part of the problem and try to protect women as best you can, or just shut the fuck up and move out of the way for those who do and will. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. Well, I agree with everything you said. You're not gonna get no rebuttal from me. It's good that there are some men, especially black men, who understand and they empathize and they take responsibility and they do their part in trying to change the views of their fellow black men when possible and within reason, and not just on some, oh, women are right about everything, but on some real, based on what I read on my own, based on these facts, these statistics, based on my own research. This is true. This is not me just agreeing with women. This is factual. This is what's being put into the world for us to know and understand. I'm not just agreeing to agree. I'm agreeing because I have the facts to back up my agreements in the situation. So that's much appreciated.
Yeah, and also that, but also, even if you like, we're just taking like what women said at base value and be like, okay, like, also, what's the harm in that? Like, because like, you're not gonna like, if a woman like Candace, if you like, even if I didn't know what I know now, and you were just to tell me like, hey, like, street harassment is real, and men be out here, bothering people. Like, what good is it going to do for me to try to invalidate your experience? Like, not all men, or like, just whatever. Like, what good is that gonna do? None. So it's easier to just believe people, try to empathize, and just be like, okay, you know what? I hear you. I'm sorry. Like at best and at minimum, you could do that. It's not that hard. Um, but on that note, we been on here for a while, but I think this was, I mean, we got ratchet and then we got into some very good conversation. Thank you so much for joining me, Candace.
For having me.
As
Yeah.
always, it's
Oh,
all love,
yeah.
your family. Anything you want to say to the people?
Keep listening to Crowns and Collards and keep listening to all the other dope podcasts and support Black people doing positive shit, bringing you laughs, keeping you informed. Just providing a source of entertainment that's by our people for our people. Do that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Be a greater hoe, not a hater hoe. So yeah, this has been Crown and Collars episode 117. Damn, we be getting old at this podcast and shit. But yeah, shout with all our sponsors. Help keep us free, so you won't have to pay to listen to me and Sarone talk because I wouldn't do that shit. And yeah, Dan will be back next week, and we out here. Peace.